How many people have had the pleasure of meeting Sam so far?
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Yeah.
If you haven't yet, now you have.
Yep.
So this is Sam Glavin, who I met just about a year ago in Madison, Wisconsin. And Sam, as you heard earlier, has a pretty incredible year. So you've been investing for 3 years, right?
Yep.
How many deals in 3 years?
16.
16. And how many of those were in the last year?
7.
7. So
Wow.
almost half in the last year.
Yep.
So that's good. That's good acceleration, right?
Yes.
So what I want to do is interview Sam and then have you guys be able to ask questions of Sam so we can figure out what unlocks Sam so you can get it to unlock you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when you got going, I know I touched on it earlier, but again, for the good of everybody, what got you going?
Really, in college, had a professor that was big in real estate, got a property under contract in college, senior year as I was graduating, moved to Madison, basically, so that's really what got me started was learning about real estate, wholesaling, and then moved to Madison, joined an actual coaching group, and then 4 months into that, got my first deal. So really just jumping into it, started with FSBOs and then finally marketing. And,
Yeah. What'd you do with your first deal? What was the exit strategy?
It was a wholesale. So I bought it, me and a bunch of my brothers, I spent $2,000 on dumpsters, paid them, hauled everything out, and listed it, and then, yeah, just sold it right on retail after $2,000. Yeah.
What'd you make on it?
32.
32,000. So
Yeah.
$2,000 in and something else?
Yeah.
Just $2,000 in?
Yeah, just $2,000.
Two $2,000 in, $32,000 return.
Yep.
Yeah, so $30,000 in profit.
Yep.
Happy about that one?
There.
Got you moving.
Yes.
Out of college, huh? How many people are thinking, wow, college could be really different? Not bad, all right.
Yep.
And what's been your biggest deal to date in the 3 years and the 18 years?
Yep. So March of this year,
Yep.
bought one for 140, put 15 into it, and sold it for 230. So I made 55 after commission and everything.
Nice,
Yep.
very nice. Was there magic behind that one?
No magic, just marketing.
Where'd you find it?
Through a mailer. Yep. So I just started mailers when I joined your program. I was using your pre-foreclosure letter.
Yep.
And that's where that came from.
Okay, so my pre-foreclosure letter, you developed a list of that.
Yep. Yep. Right from the county website.
Was that fun and exciting?
Not really.
No, it's not, is it? Okay. It's not.
No.
And yet, profitable. So is it worth doing?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you keep up on that one?
The list?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Just love when it's, there's simple answers, right? You're kind of expecting something complex. It's like waiting for the punchline. You developed the list, you sent my letter, you did the deal. Does it have to be more complicated than that? No. What else are you doing for marketing?
Facebook.
Facebook?
Yep.
Marketplace?
No, paid ads and then post in some groups sometimes, but mainly paid ads.
Talk us through the results.
Yeah, they're good. So I started in 2020, right when I joined Chris's coaching program in Madison. Also joined another coaching program where they were just teaching Facebook ads. It's slowed down, but it's still profitable as far as price per lead. Like it's giving me results for sure.
How many of those are turning into deals?
I haven't looked at it in a while, but I know in the beginning it was like every 40 leads was a deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
40 leads to get to a deal. And what's your cost? What's your spend to get 40 leads?
So it was performing really, it was $20 per lead back then. Now it's closer to 40 per lead. And, I think back then I spent about maybe $2,000 maybe per deal. So it was really good.
Okay.
But yeah, you can't put it in.
Okay, that's all right. Sometimes it's fine. Yeah, people ask, what exact tracking do you do to figure out the exact metrics?
And I know
I
people
can't stand over
people
tracking.
talk to me, KPIs, I know all that stuff's so important, but I mean, if it's performing, it's performing. It's kind of how I look at it.
You intuitively know what's working.
Yep.
Is it producing results? Are people telling you, like, one of the questions on the deal worksheet is, how'd you find us? I got your flyer in the mail, which means letter or postcard. I saw an ad on Facebook. called me, right? Or I posted an ad and you responded, I got this way. So you kind of, you'll know from asking whether you need to be like really clinical about your numbers. If that's you, fine, go right ahead. It's not me, it doesn't sound like it's you. It's kind of figure the way and going, this is what's working.
Yeah.
Because you know, because people tell you. What's the biggest lesson learned so far?
Biggest lesson. There's been so many.
Choose a few.
I guess now I'm getting into rehabs. I was doing a lot of wholesaling, and getting into rehabs. I'd say the biggest lesson is just really keep an eye on your contractors until you build a relationship with them. Because my first big rehab, I just finished it up, put 75 into it. It was only supposed to put 60 into it, and yeah, just not keeping an eye. I thought I could hire people and just expect the work to be done.
Yeah, they're 15 over. Who is dealing with contractors or rehab?
Every day.
Every day.
I live with him.
Yes. Well, you're lucky because you have a trustworthy one. But what about your subs? How's it dealing with them?
We have really good subs.
Okay.
Yeah, we're very blessed with that. But we manage them, so it,
Close enough to keep.
Yeah.
Anyone else having contractor difficulty? Yeah, it's ridiculous. I find it very ridiculous. Lately, I actually don't mind paying a little bit more to have somebody be twice as reliable as they'd be otherwise. Mm-hmm. There's the pain in the ass factor gets to me. Mm-hmm. There's no other way of putting it. It's just some of the stuff is such a pain in the rear end that I'm going, I'd rather pay a little bit more than not have to deal with it. I did it the other day with an electrician. I went, all right, fine. You know what? It shows up on time. Breath doesn't smell like he's been drinking all morning. And all night, all morning. And it makes a difference. Eyes aren't dilated funny. Doesn't seem to be on any drugs. I'm serious. He says, what you go through with a lot. And I've noticed, honestly, I think it's worse in Florida than it has been.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I did everything I would with the wholesale. Like if I'm trying to run my rehab to present to other buyers, run all my numbers. I get some bids on stuff that I'm unsure about. So I got all my bids for this house and went with the cheapest guy. I'm like, let's work together. And it sounded great. It's like, we'll do a lot of business together, all that great stuff until.
Oh, who said that?
The contractor.
To you, of course.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to quick diversion because that's an excellent point. When someone else promises you all the great things you're going to do together in the future, there'll be lots of business. I'll bring business here. Will you bring business? Be careful. That is such a classic con man routine.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll make it up to you on future jobs. But you pay me now, I'll cut your deal on future. They probably won't even be around for the future job, and they know it at the time they're saying it. There's always something to be a little bit cautious of. Make sure it's present value and things make sense now. Don't take the promise of any sort of future benefit as payment for today. Make sure it's being done correctly. How big's your team?
Right now it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, for now, I definitely want to grow.
Easy to make decisions.
Yeah.
Questions you guys have?
I think that's amazing that it's just you. That's a lot that you're doing, and it's just you. That's humongous. It's amazing. I'm sure you're like so proud of yourself.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like going back to 4 years ago. I thought like after my first 1, 2, 3, but then you really start, once you're in real estate, you start to meet everybody in real estate. And so I'm proud of myself, but I see people doing such big things. Like March of this year, I forget their name, but like they're doing, they were doing an interview. They do like TV ads and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, so Sam was at this event in March, and you're talking about Susan, the Campbells.
Yes,
John and Susan Campbell from South Jersey, but then they brought their sons into the business and had their sons at this event, and their sons are got up and running in South Carolina.
Yep.
Different TV commercials and all the different types.
Yeah, well, and even in like Madison, you see, so I'm proud of myself, but I'm excited to like where it can go, because there's just so many people doing so many things. And what I've really learned, like a big learning lesson, is there's so much opportunity out there. I see all these people doing deals in Madison, and I'm like, but everybody is doing deals. It's not like they're taken away from me, because there's just so many.
There's enough to go around.
Yeah, even though it's super competitive, because it is very competitive. Like I run into other investors on the same houses all the time. That's where, again, negotiating, building rapport, and all that stuff comes in. But yeah, there's still so many deals out there.
How's that work? Go into that rapport building and negotiating more. Like what's changed in you from that?
I would say a lot of confidence. Like everything I say, I can do, and I know I can do because I've done it now. I mean, so I feel like that's the biggest change. Like going in there, so I started when I was 22, thinking I was like young. Like I had people make comments when I would go into houses and stuff. But yeah, just after doing like the first deal, it just gives you a lot of confidence, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of changes things.
Yep.
Quite a bit going forward. What are your yellow and red lights? What showed up on the worksheet?
The main ones were, oh man, I might have to go grab it. But there was 3 main ones. A lot were yellow. I think I had like 2 greens.
Okay.
Contracts, just because I used a state contract. But I think marketing, again, I know I can always get better at that. Negotiating was one. I guess that was yellow. You know, I can't remember. But
No, that's
those are
interesting.
things
though.
I need.
Were those the ones you expected to hear him say? Where he just rattled off his successes at the marketing and this, and then he's going, a little deficient in marketing and negotiation. Right? There's always room for improvement, and yet, do you have to have all 9 greens to be able to make money? Clearly not, because it's working.
It's funny you just said that, because I got a double question, and one is about marketing and one is about negotiation. So, firstly, what's your most productive marketing tool or strategy? And secondly, are there any specific moments of any negotiations or conversations with sellers that you kind of remember? Like any glimpses or moments when you were talking to sellers that stand out for you? So, favorite marketing and negotiation highlights.
I would say favorite marketing is Facebook, just because I understand a lot more. Yeah, one of the big reasons I joined Tom ZEEB'S program was because he had all the marketing letters laid out. I knew it would be very simple for me to pull lists and then just implement. He already had all the copy, which is the hardest thing with Facebook and with anything, is getting the right message across. Let's say Facebook, just because I understand it more and I've gotten the most deals out of it, just because that's what I started with. And your second question, I would say at the time this is how I got my first deal, because I was going kind of by a script, and one of the things I had heard was, if I was able to close quickly, no inspections, no financing contingencies, what's the least you'd be willing to accept? And like the person's number dropped like 30 grand sometimes. And it's like, okay, so there's the motivation right away. So that's the only thing, because I do ask that question a lot. I try to ask that on every call.
Yep.
And I'm just kind of baffled by the results that sometimes come out.
It almost doesn't make any sense. All you do is ask a question, and 30 grand drop, and there may or may not have been more drops after that from using more techniques. So in negotiation, they have the same, you're not making money faster than when you're negotiating, because all you do is ask some questions, $30,000 drop. It sometimes doesn't make any sense. And why didn't they just say that to begin with? Because they don't. Because you gotta ask to get them there. That's why. Every time, ask those questions, use the techniques that I've taught you, and it doesn't matter what order. You'll come up with your own custom order, or it'll be triggered on what they say. But put the techniques out there and watch what happens. You keep driving that price down. Eventually it'll stop, and then you know you're at the bottom. But it's good to know that you're at the bottom. We're not wondering. I wonder how much more they would have gone. Is there more to go here? And you gotta have them at the bottom, because the whole process of them going for that, and then them starting to resist, locks them in. It's incredible.
Yeah, and being here today, like, again, it's kind of like got me again about asking questions, because I think I got it from one of your binders. The question is, after I say a number, I'm just like, help me out, like, where would I have to come to make this work? And that's, yeah, literally that sticky note there, just because that's another, it's about questions, really. Having, you said it today, people talking, get them to do talking. If you're talking too much, then you're not doing it right, basically. Which sometimes it's hard because sellers sometimes don't want to talk. So that's where I think questions are great. And yeah, going home, I really want to start having a list of questions, some really good questions that just change the game into what we were just talking about.
Yep. Open-ended questions
Yeah.
tend to make them need to talk. If they can just say yes or no, okay, I mean, then the ball's right back in your court. It's a hot potato, right? It's too much back and forth. Then at a certain point, you want to ask them questions where they're holding on to the potato for a while, and they're talking through it, and that's just going to come it's a matter of practice. And being interested in, or at least interested in, let's see how much they'll tell. Almost turning it into a game. I wonder how much she'll say. How much is he going to tell me? Let me ask this question, see if I can get down. Ooh, I think there's a little something hiding there. I think there's a little pain there. Let me ask about it, which is uncomfortable, right? It's uncomfortable, and yet, once you start doing it in a nice way, it's not. It won't be uncomfortable for you anymore. And what's important to remember is that you're asking out of love. You're not asking to be mean and nasty. You're actually doing them a favor by asking them an uncomfortable question. Because they have to give an uncomfortable answer. No one else has probably challenged them to come up with that answer. Like, well, geez, you're going to foreclosure next week. What are you going to do? I'll be fine. Okay, how are you going to be fine? Like, nobody's pushing them to define it. Therefore, nobody's done them the favor of getting them to wake up and deal with their issue. Or the deal what we're talking about. Now, so you've got this tenant you don't like? Okay, it's uncomfortable talking to them, isn't it? Or maybe you'll find out there was some sort of odd personal relationship there. Or maybe it's a family member, the whole thing's all, but we have to ask the questions, even through the discomfort, because that's when we're going to get the good, juicy stuff where we can figure, but we're helping them by doing that. We're getting down to the good, juicy stuff, not only because it works for us, but because, we actually unlock their problem. Other questions?
So your first deal, can you go back?
Yep.
How'd you get that first sale? Was it through Facebook?
Yep, through a paid Facebook ad.
And you paid for it?
Yep.
Okay, so that was your marketing tool.
Yep.
And then you just did your negotiation, which was with your line?
Yeah, so again, these are my these are my newer calls. So I remember I took the call in the car. I didn't have my scripts in front of me. But yeah, I was just asking about repairs and stuff like that. She told me how great the condition of the property was. They had just actually built it 8 years ago, so it was pretty good. But I was just asking a question about the house, and then just basically got into pricing, like what's the least you'd accept if I could do this. And
so it wasn't even a home that needed TLC?
No, funny enough, just a little bit of backstory, they won the lottery 8 years ago, and unfortunately the husband passed away when I bought it 8 years later after the lottery, so it was $1 million. While I toured the house, they had $1 million check in their basement, and I didn't know that until I walked the place, but then there were 2 years into behind on taxes, so and that's obviously showed her motivation when I asked that question and she told me what she was looking for. I mean, I knew it because it was like a 5-bed, 3-bath, prefab home, but still in a population of, I think there was like 500, very small city, rural place in Wisconsin. But yeah.
You still have it? You still have it? You rent it?
No, I put $2,000 into it. That's the one that I put right back on the market and then sold. Yep, so just a really quick, a wholesale.
Wholesale is like a semi,
Yeah,
you
that's
clean
like
it off
that
and
means.
sell it retail, yeah.
So you paid the closing costs and everything?
Yep,
to
actually
close
closed,
on it.
I got private money, closed on it, cleaned it out, and then, and granted, the number she gave me on the phone was 90, and then when I went and saw it, had been smoked in. It was 8 years old, it was a beautiful place, but there was some stuff wrong, so I ended up, if I was better at negotiating, I probably got lower, and probably should have, but I ended up getting it for 80, and then selling for
But did you do with Harmony lender to close with the
Yeah, private money. So just an individual I knew that was invested in real estate.
Interesting.
Yep.
Lottery winner, lets the house get run down in 8 years, Like stink, full of smoke.
Yep.
They need some work. Interesting. Right? It's not always the houses you totally expect. It's not always the people you totally expect. A lot of lottery winners want to dead broke. It's a
Yes.
fascinating thing. More
Yeah.
money doesn't necessarily solve the money problems.
You could probably get some deals just by marketing to
Lottery winners.
lottery.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a good list there. You could, I'm sure it's been published in the newspaper of the winners. Just, you could search for that. Interesting.
Sam, when you do the ads
Facebook.
in Facebook, do you do with your name, the one that you share? Or in your page, or is a business page?
It's a business page, but my business page is just Standby's Houses. So yeah, it's a picture of me on there. But yeah, so it has my name and everything. And I feel like it's personal because I call them up, hey, this is Sam. So they know it's with respect.
Cool. Cool.
And did you learn to do the Facebook ads with the mentoring group, or is it because you're young and because
Because it's young and cute.
Facebook for me and Twitter and TikTok.
Doesn't
what
make
else?
any sense.
Yeah, I'm like, I still don't know how to send a message through Instagram.
Okay.
You know, so
That's,
like,
that's why you have your dog.
hold on,
What? You're not gonna do it?
a little bit.
All right.
So, you mentioned you did Facebook mentoring, like coaching.
Yep.
Did you learn that through, because, like,
Yep.
We sign up.
yes,
Right.
what's
How
the
do we sign up with your Facebook?
coaching?
So it was called,
Or Tom, are you gonna take that on?
I'm not the one to teach it to. Because I'm not a big social guy. And I've tried here and there with paid ads.
Yeah,
Never works for me.
because there's real.
Glad it works for others, it doesn't work for me.
Facebook paid ads and, you know, like making millions, getting listings, but I'm just like,
I don't know.
how?
So the program, I will think of it, I know I have it on my phone somewhere, I can't remember, because that was back in 2020, so yeah, that was a mentorship that I paid for, where they were teaching how to do Facebook ads. Funny enough, what was working back in 2020 is not working now in the ads, and so I'm sure they still have a program, I'm sure it's updated now, because I was using their, like they would give you everything, and those same ads do not perform today, yeah. So it's a lot of testing on Facebook.
And so you did the coaching and then set it up and ran it yourself, or did you have somebody do it?
Yes, so there were levels. I paid for the coaching, all the videos, and then I was responsible for the back end of Facebook, which is business.facebook, running, setting up the ads, business page, all that.
Yeah, that's the part that drove me. I look at it and go.
And I was fresh in, so I wasn't doing mailers. I didn't have anything going on. Well, maybe I just started doing my mailers, and then I found Facebook, and I thought they sold me on whatever ad that I found them on Facebook, and I bought into their mentorship. But yeah, so I had time. I just was getting into real estate, so I had time to deep dive into Facebook ads. So that's where I spent most of my time, learned that, and then just put the two together. So
Beautiful.
So on the Facebook thing, I have a business page too, and every once in a while it'll pop up at the top, like, do you want to run an ad, and you can pay, like, they just have like,
Boost it or something.
yeah, like a template kind of thing, and it says like, you can edit it or whatever. So Facebook, once in a while it'll say, do you want to promote your business, and you can pay them like $5 to send, to 200 people.
Have you
or
done
you can pay, like every day for a week. So
Any
you can pay.
result when you've done
So I haven't quite tried, but I'm going to with that deal machine challenge that I
it?
did.
Yeah, all right, good.
But yeah, I'll let you know. But Facebook, I wanted to say, just made it real easy because you could just use their templated ad and it fills in your business name and everything, and then they just shoot it out to people on Facebook, and maybe you get something like he did, like Sam stuff.
yeah, and what I will say that definitely test it. I've never done it, only because what I was taught is that, so that's the front end of Facebook, and it does not perform nearly as well, but I've never tried it, so I really don't know.
Yeah, I asked you a question about it. You just answered, but you say that you remember last night I asked you a question about the Facebook ad, and I have my page. You say this page is not good, the way it was running, so I have to go to the Facebook businessfacebook.com, because this one here they might tell you take like 1 or 2, put $5, $2 for them to reach you more people,
Yeah.
but it's not productive. That's how you do.
Yeah, that's what she was just, the same thing she was just mentioning. Just from what I've been told, let me turn it off.
You have to dance time.
That's not
That was my phone.
22 minutes, 22 seconds, are we done?
Yeah.
Hard stop.
So, which one is the proper one? Because
So, from what my experience, I've never run those ads because they're just asking you, like, basically Facebook's coming to you and like telling you to spend money to promote whatever ad they have. So yeah, the business.facebook is basically the back end to get on people's sponsored or
Was
their
that the
home.
meta? The meta?
Yep, Meta. Yeah, Meta, all Meta now. Yep,
Okay.
yep, Meta.business, something like that.
A little bit better.
Yeah.
And, sorry.
I'm, because I think it's called direct mail, but I'm more interested in how difficult was it to pull the list of pre-foreclosures?
Very easy. So first I just looked it up. There's certain codes you have to go through the website, but yeah, once you get on there, very easy. But then, like everything, there's a service in Wisconsin where they'll automatically pull it right off the site. So then I just swapped to that. Especially
You
after-
pay for that?
Yup, yeah. But I was getting it for free in the beginning. They have all on there, so very simple.
yeah, early on you talk about the courthouse. How do you get those lead in the courthouse?
Courthouse
What do you-
research. So this was your courthouse had public access to the records, or did you have to have an account?
No, so it was actually all public.
Okay.
You just
I think-
needed to know
I
what.
think-
Depends on the jurisdiction.
Really? I thought it was all public.
Depends on the jurisdiction.
Oh, okay. Probate is all public, right?
Depends on the jurisdiction. I mean, it's all public record, yes, but whether or not you can access it publicly, or you have to set up an account with the county first, which might be free, might be paid, that depends on the jurisdiction. It's all public record data, but whether or not you can access it remotely, easily on any old computer is different than having to be physically there or having to have an account with them. That's the difference.
And are those the lists that you're referring to, that you pull, the pre-foreclosure, what other
Yeah.
lists do you use?
I just pre-foreclosure and probates. I'm more strict on the pre-foreclosure just because it's produced the most results for me. But yeah, just those two is all I've stuck with. But with the service, I mean, you can get divorced, like all that, like you said, is public information, and it's all accessible right through the in Dane County, their website. So.
Cool.
And this is just all in your county?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
If you operate in any other counties other than your own?
So yeah, I mean, I will flip about an hour, depending on the size of the rehab, sometimes I'll wholesale them. But if the numbers work, I'll go take a look at the property. But yeah, I've probably done it in 4 different counties, flips.
Okay. So still within a
Still
reasonable
local,
radius
yeah,
of
yes.
Madison.
Wisconsin, everything in Wisconsin, yep, yep.
I'm asking you, what about for where we are, Maryland and DC? So what about, I don't know if you have any experience with the courthouse, if we can do that there?
Some of them you can get remote access to.
Uh-huh.
Some of them are online, and you're gonna pluck things off one by one. Other times you're able to get kind of produce a file and download it. It depends on which motivation
Okay,
and which jurisdiction.
thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions for Sam?
No, I'm just in awe.
Hey, no. See, more people want your autograph now, Sam. It's good.
I will say,
Talking to you.
Sam helped us download the voice recorder app that we didn't have.
Nice.
Wow.
Very nice.
Young generation.
The man's a tech genius on top of it all.
How do you record on these phones? Everybody's on the table.
Now as long as you know how to play it back, Frank.
Yeah, I gotta say.
It's a tricky thing, yeah. Could be. Any other questions?
Okay, Sam, I'm very interested in what you say within 1 year, joining the traction, and you improve yourself the dealing for seven deal, and now you start in rehab. So it's only your first rehab. Since you say you are the one doing it by yourself, so do you have like how many rehab you planning to do? Do you wait until one finish to start another one? How you do it?
Normally that's how it works, but I'm trying to get to do multiple. Like right now I do have 2, but Yeah, I mean, I will take as much as I can handle, but most of the time, just with my lead flow and everything, it's been about one every 2 months. But I'm hoping to do next year, one a month, if not more. Just trying to, figure out basically what I have to spend in marketing to get there, trying to work the numbers backwards.
One every 2 months. What do you do with the downtime in between?
Market,
Isn't it nerve-wracking marketing and not getting anything for 8 weeks?
yes.
How do you deal with that?
Just keep, I mean, now I see everybody doing deals, I've been doing deals, so I just know they're coming, and I know it's a numbers game. I know it's a numbers game. Like, I have no doubt that I'm not gonna find the next deal. So that's how I do it now, but it wasn't guaranteed. Like, it took me 4 months to get my first deal, and it's tiring.
Okay.
Your first deal was 32 grand. Divide that by 4 months.
Yeah, right.
OMG.
Yeah? So, you know what's coming. Now, what if it takes 3 months? Do you get nervous? Do you give up?
I would get a little nervous. I wouldn't give up, but I would change what I'm doing, because then obviously, it just shift a little bit.
But is it always consistently 2 months? Do you find, what I always find is, wow, this month I did 3 deals. Then 4 months will go by with nothing. Then there'll be 2, then 1 month goes by, then there's 1. It's the most inconsistent, but you get used to that. You go, what happens on average every year?
Yeah.
Because I can't control necessarily what's happening every month. Certainly can't control the closing, because they never close in the right order, the order they came in.
Yeah.
But you're just blindly confident now that you know what's gonna happen.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, pretty much. Because like you said, I think this year I had like a 2.5, or I think it was getting on 3 months with 0 deals. I was working on the Janesville rehab, so I know that was taking some of my attention. But then I bought 1, or I bought 2, and now I have 2 right now that they're gonna be sold. So that's a total of 7 that I was talking about.
Okay, yeah. Lots of questions. 1, 2, 3.
So Dan, you mentioned that you have gotten to know the same circles, the people in real estate in your area, and now everybody knows everybody in the circle. So do you find yourself competing with the same people for those deals? Is there any way that you are dividing certain areas between people, or are you all targeting and marketing the same areas, the same zip codes?
Yeah, everybody is fighting for the same deals in the same area. Yeah. So I mean, that's why I like Facebook, because most of the people are doing mailers, people do cold calls, all that stuff. And again, people do Facebook ads. I see other people's ads in Madison too. But so yeah, we're fighting for the same deals, but again, some people just respond to certain marketing messages, because lots of times I find lots of my deals are I'm the first or second investor to look at it. And I think that's where it comes to, again, the negotiation, and just showing people, building a rapport, showing people that are really there to help them out.
So there's something about the way you're talking to them, and what you're saying, and what you're asking, and the fact that you listen, that is locking them into you and letting others bounce away?
Yeah, because obviously money matters to people most, like first and foremost, but even if you're close to other people, which a lot of people in Madison, their numbers are very similar, I think it does matter how you approach people, 100%.
So do you really pay any attention to your competition when you're marketing, or you just plow ahead?
I mean, in the beginning I did, because I thought it was going to be very hard to find a deal, but yet not anymore. I know people are doing a bunch of different stuff and it's working for them. I see them doing deals, I'm doing deals, and that's the thing. I know lots of people don't see the deals, because when I'm wholesaling the property, I send it to them, and yeah, they've never taken a look at it. They didn't know it was up for sale, so
Cool.
not even up for sale, but
Cool.
market.
There was a hand.
How do you determine if you want to wholesale or wholetail? What criteria do you use?
I think it's kind of changed I think the market's changed. So back in 2020, I just felt I would say out of the 16 deals I've done, probably 6 or 7 of them are wholesale. Like even the one I put 15 grand into, it was just paint, a little bit of landscaping and stuff, so I consider that a wholesale. It wasn't that crazy. But I really just looked at the numbers, how little money I could put into it. Remember, I really, one time finding my exit strategy, or allowing my realtor partner a lot, and just have them walk through with me. and tell me how little I can put in and where I can sell it for, or if I go all the way, like what can I sell it for at that point? And then obviously, I normally market all my houses to my buyers anyways, because who knows what people are willing to pay. It might just be worth the hassle, especially after the last rehab. I realized I really love wholesaling, and that's gonna be my first option always, but it is about, like, is it double or triple if I rehab it? I'm gonna do that, because I've seen that happen where somebody puts 30 grand into one of my houses I wholesale and they made crazy money.
A lot more.
Which I was happy when I wholesaled it.
Yeah.
Just a little, yeah.
Yeah, but if you can do it, you'll do it.
Yeah, exactly.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it that way. Right. So I've lost track.
You have a very calm and soothing demeanor. Do you think that that serves you well in negotiation? And how much per hour would you charge me to talk to me with your calm and soothing voice?
That's the first time I ever heard that. I appreciate that. Man, I'll jump on seller calls with you. Just give me a portion of the deal.
Yeah, but seriously, I mean, like tone, and I mean, I don't know, what kind of.
So
maybe Tom,
I
you
guess-
give some thoughts on that.
Backstory, so I started, my first couple jobs were in like fast food, and then in my junior, senior year, I was doing sales since then. So I mean, I've learned a lot in sales, even though when I first started real estate, like I was very skittish on the phone, like I was not comfortable. But once I got in, just like any new sales job, once I got used to the script, the product, what I'm selling people, or what value we offer people, it just became a lot easier. And like being in an interview now, I could never see myself doing it, but I know real estate now for 3.5 years, so it's a lot easier to talk to, a lot easier to talk to sellers and tell them about my experience and walking through a house with people. So just time has made it, I guess, what you're seeing is just a little.
If you want to get better with your voice, not that you're not going to have, I mean, you do have a kind of very warm vocal cord, right? No, it sounds good, but everyone can develop a voice. Not that you're going to match Sam, but let's work on yours. Record your next series of calls. Not that you know how to work the recorder. Record your next series of calls, and then listen to it, which will be one of the most excruciating things you've ever done, is listen to the sound of your own voice. But you will you'll understand how you want to change, how you want to sound. You'll cringe at certain things that you said. You'll go, oh crap, that was a missed opportunity, things you should have said. And you might catch some really bad, I don't know, like maybe, bad like speech habits, like most of the kids, right? You'll catch it if you record yourself. So how about this, gang? For your next 10 calls, record them. By the time I'm in a state that doesn't, two-party notification, whatever. You're not sharing it for anybody. It's for your own purposes. So if you tell them, hey, all calls may be recorded for quality assurance purposes. You have nothing to worry about. You're not publicizing the recording. It's for your own good. So listen to it again and think about how you sing. All right, we're heading this way. I'm getting there. Hang on.
So, is Facebook Market the only marketing method you use?
So that and then mailers. So Facebook and mailers, yeah.
Direct mail.
You have direct mail.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Letters,
postcards.
Yeah, I don't do it at such a big scale. Like I pull all the recent foreclosure data, and I'm maybe sending. It's not my biggest marketing thing. Facebook is, so I'm probably sending maybe 200 letters. I write them out myself,
Okay. That's
so it's
modest.
not a big. Again, it's very targeted list, but. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then,
Are you using any of the other letters or any of the other lists?
I did a little bit of probate, but I'm bad. Like it's a lot of writing for me. I just need to hire somebody to do it. So I've just been doing the pre-foreclosures
We
right
can
now.
talk about some ways about that later.
Yeah.
Working our way this way.
Okay, so my curiosity is in your, how much, since you say you have 7 deals for this year by joining Traction, my curiosity, how much money do you spend with that long in marketing? How much, like your budget in marketing?
What's your annual spend on marketing?
In marketing, your annual
So probably
spend.
this year will be around. I'd say just roughly maybe 15 grand.
15?
15.
So monthly,
Yeah, about a little over a grand.
Right, that's what, 11
Right.
a month?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're in month 11, so you're saying 15 grand divided by 12.
Okay,
Just roughly, I mean, just roughly.
okay.
And that's like with, like there's subscriptions that I use for marketing. So yeah, like between the letters and Facebook, yeah, I think 15 is pretty good.
15 grand.
15
Produces how
grand.
much in profit?
So I still have to sell 2 of these places. I think I'll be at around 160.
Okay. Who would spend 15 grand to make 160 grand? Over the course of your, okay. But wait a minute, similar question. Who's afraid to spend 15 grand on something?
If you don't have it.
It's understandable, totally understandable. But remember, it's not 15 grand all up front. There's no time, you got, but again.
Like you said, like
there's an
first
investment.
deal is 30 grand, and take that money.
Take it and reinvest back into
Yes,
it.
exactly.
Before having it, how do you find your contractor?
So I'm very new to it, so how I found my lovely contractor from Janesville was from Facebook, but I thought I knew pretty well. But in that process, I found a really good contractor that I'm working on my current flip with. So, I mean, I lost some, but I'm very confident about this next one that I'm working on.
Cool.
A lot of our subcontractors that we found have been in Facebook groups, but through asking community members. So I'll go into community groups and say, hey, we're looking for an electrician. Who have you guys used? We've had really good luck with that and
Good.
gotten some really good, because they're referenced that
They're
way.
generally not
We're
gonna be
also
referred
in
to.
contractor groups, and man, you can see who's desperate. Like, we would never have to go into a contractor group to get work.
See, I think I was blind by it.
Yeah.
When they get,
So you gotta be real careful with
Yeah.
those groups.
Go to the customers that have used them, don't go to them.
Right.
Or in the contractor groups, we will ask other contractors, who have you guys used for a sub, you know, that kind of thing, and then get reference recommendations.
Cool.
When you first call the seller, how do you introduce yourself? I am a local investor, this is a house for myself, I'm buying houses, how do you?
Yeah, so a lot of my stuff is inbound. So once I call them, basically I'm just like, hey, this is Sam. You're responding to a post I had on Facebook. Did you have a house you're looking to sell? That's really how I do it. Because I don't do a lot of outbound.
There's no magic. Guys, there's no magic.
Yeah.
You do it. Just do it. Hey, it's Sam. I respond to the post. Well, tell me about it.
Yeah, exactly. Did you have something?
Yeah.
And again, just like any form of marketing, some people, I don't know, what I was telling some people is, so it is getting more expensive, but even then you get, just like mailers, you get a certain amount of results, even with leads that come in. Some people don't answer, or what I find most of the time, they answer and they're like, I never did that. It's like, okay,
Sure.
all right, sorry about that. But yeah, that's how I just approach them, just because again, it's inbound stuff coming in.
Well, when you skip tracing someone, you say,
Yeah, so I've done a little bit of skip tracing when I do driving for dollars and stuff. It's basically exactly that. Hey, I drove by your house. Just thought, like, did you have any thought of selling the place in the near future or something like that? But I find if I don't know what to say on a call, I just literally Google a script. There's so many. Everybody has a different script, and I will find something that I like and then just use that.
Simple, non-threatening questions.
Yeah.
I use, tell me about the property. How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms? That's a non-threatening question if ever there was one. Tell me about the property, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms? And then let them start opening up. Well, that's interesting. The garage attached. I mean, blah, 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 boring. And then suddenly you start to get into the better stuff.
And one of the best ones is like, how long have you lived there? And then they'll really get into kind of like, oh, wow.
Starts to get personal.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
long have I lived there?
Yeah.
Simple stuff, guys.
I think, Alex had a question.
Alex, go for it. Then I'm gonna swap Sam out.
Oh, yeah, you use the word contractor in the singular, so are you just working with the GC and you just let him or her do all the hiring of subcontractors?
So with my first one, I was technically the GC. I don't have my general contractor's license or anything, but I was just overseeing these people. But yes, this new contractor, he actually owns a flooring business and he has builders on his staff. So this next project, I've already got it bid all through him. So that's why I would, I guess, say contractor.
So do you prefer that approach now? You get just dealing with all the subcontractors all at once and.
Yeah, the fact that I'm just going to
Cats.
one guy that has everything under him. And he worked on my Janesville house, he did the whole interior. And so I've seen this product, and if this one turns out anything like that, I'm gonna be happy
So
with
you
it.
manage him, he manages anyone else he needs.
Yes.
You don't get bugged by 12 people, you
Yep.
just deal with one.
Yep, exactly.
Does that drive up the price though? I mean, is he marking it up for those services?
So, yeah, funny enough, he found me off of one of my Facebook ads, and that's how I got to talking to him. And we worked out a deal where, and he finds some great discounts on like flooring, because that's what his main business is, flooring. And so he's just doing a certain percentage markup above that. And the bid came in good enough for this deal that I have. So I don't know, I really like the guy, I like his work, so that's why the numbers worked on this deal. I probably could have got more bids, but from what I know about running a rehab when I walked through a place, it was very close to my estimate, so I figured I'm good to go with that.
And what's he doing beyond flooring? Is he doing paint? Is he doing?
Yep, he has a painter, a window guy. I am solving the siding out, but everything else, the whole interior, the kitchen, the countertops, they're doing the whole thing.
Nice.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we own a painting business, if anybody needs a painter, in Connecticut, Boston, New York, New Jersey.
Done, you got a big wide range. All right, guys, let's give Sam a round of applause.